At 80, your body can change faster than you ever imagined. A single shift in muscle memory or balance could decide whether you keep walking freely or rely on others for every step. That sounds shocking, doesn't it? Why is it that one person at 85 still walks briskly every morning while another struggles to stand without support? The truth is, after 80, your body goes through hidden transformations that no one warns you about. Some of these changes are natural, but others, if ignored, can shorten your independence, your health, even your life. Before we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Share your city or country in the comments. And if you're new here, welcome. This channel is where we uncover the secrets to living strong, joyful, and independent after 65. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss out. And stay with me until the very end, because the last change we'll talk about is the one that makes the biggest difference in how long and how well you live. So let's dive in. Here's the first change your body faces after 80. After the age of 80, muscle loss becomes one of the most dramatic changes in the human body. This isn't just about looking thinner, it's about losing the very strength that keeps you standing, walking, and living independently. Scientists call it sarcopenia. Every decade after 50, you lose up to 10% of muscle mass. But after 80, the pace accelerates. Without regular activity, the body can lose muscle twice as fast. That means a man who could once carry groceries with ease may suddenly struggle to lift a simple bag. And here's the warning. When muscle weakens, the risk of falling skyrockets. Falls are not minor accidents at this age. They are the leading cause of injury and hospital visits for people over 80. One slip in the bathroom, one misstep on the stairs, and life can change forever. Now imagine two different 82-year-olds. One spends 15 minutes a day lifting light weights, walking, and stretching. The other spends most of the day seated, avoiding exercise out of fear of injury. The first maintains strong legs and balance. The second loses mobility year by year. Which one do you see yourself becoming? It's not about building bodybuilder muscles. It's about preserving the strength to rise from a chair, climb steps, or even hug your loved ones tightly. Simple daily actions can protect your independence. Resistance bands, light dumbbells, or even bodyweight exercises are powerful tools. And here's something surprising. Studies show that even after 80, your muscles still respond to training. They can grow stronger, denser, and more resilient when challenged gently but consistently. It's never too late to start. So let me ask you, can you still stand from a chair without using your hands? If yes, that's a great sign. If not, it's a call to action. Type the number 1 in the comments if you believe strength training should be a daily habit after 80. Because the truth is clear, strong muscles don't just carry your body, they protect your bones, stabilize your balance, and keep your heart and mind active. And this brings us to the next change, after 81, that goes hand in hand with muscle loss. Let's talk about what really happens to your bones. If muscles are the engine that keeps you moving, bones are the frame that holds you together. And after 80, that frame begins to weaken in ways most people never expect. By this age, the body has already lost a significant amount of bone density. It's a natural process called osteoporosis. But here's the shocking fact. Women over 80 face up to a 50% chance of breaking a hip during their lifetime. For men, the risk is lower, but still alarmingly high. What makes this so dangerous? Unlike when you were younger, bones no longer heal as quickly. A simple stumble on a rug or a minor bump against a table can lead to a fracture, and hip fractures in particular can be life-changing. Many never regain full mobility. Some never return home after the hospital. Think about this. Every step you take relies on the silent strength of your skeleton. But over time, tiny holes form inside your bones, making them fragile like dry wood. The outer shell remains, but inside it's hollow. That's why even a light fall can cause devastating breaks. So how can you protect yourself? Doctors say movement is medicine for your bones. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, dancing, or light stair climbing stimulate bone growth. Calcium and vitamin D are also crucial because without them, bones lose their building blocks. Yet here's the twist. After 80, your stomach often struggles to absorb enough of these nutrients. That's why diet and sunlight may not be enough. Many seniors need supplements after medical advice. Now let's pause for a question. When was the last time you checked your bone density? If it's been more than 2 years, your body may be weaker than you realize. Write the word bone in the comments if you believe bone health is just as important as muscle health. And let's remember, bone strength is not only about preventing fractures, it's about freedom. The freedom to take a walk in the park, play with your grandchildren, or simply get out of bed without fear. The stronger your bones, the more secure your independence. But bones and muscles aren't the only parts of you that change after 80. There's another area that may be even more frightening. It's not visible on the outside, but it affects every conversation, every decision, and every memory. Let's move on to what really happens to your mind after 80. When you reach 80, the changes in your brain are not always visible in the mirror, but you can feel them in your thoughts, your focus, and your memory. Scientists say the brain actually shrinks with age. Blood flow slows, and the cells that carry signals begin to tire. That's why many seniors notice they forget names, misplace keys, or lose track of conversations. At first it seems harmless, but over time it can affect daily independence. Here's a sobering fact. After 80, the risk of dementia doubles every 5 years. That doesn't mean forgetfulness always leads to dementia, but it does mean the brain becomes more vulnerable if not cared for. Imagine this. 2 men, both 83, one plays chess every week, reads daily, and stays socially active. The other spends most days in silence, watching television for hours. Years later, the first still remembers his grandchildren's birthdays. The second struggles to recall what day it is. Which path do you want for yourself? But here's the hope. The brain, just like muscles, can be trained. Learning new skills, even simple ones, sparks fresh connections between brain cells. Walking, gardening, and even light exercise increase blood flow to the brain. It's like oxygen and nutrition feeding your memory. Let me ask you this. Do you still challenge your mind daily? Even something as simple as crossword puzzles or memorizing phone numbers can make a difference. If you agree that mental fitness matters, type the word mind in the comments. There's also another hidden factor. Sleep. After 80, sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. But without deep sleep, the brain cannot clear away waste proteins. Those proteins, if left behind, are linked to memory loss and Alzheimer's disease. So protecting your sleep is protecting your mind. And here's the final reminder. Declining focus doesn't just affect memory. It can make you less aware of your surroundings, raising the risk of falls and accidents. That's why mental clarity is directly tied to physical safety. So while memory changes are natural, you still have power. Every book you read, every conversation you share, every new hobby you explore is like medicine for the brain. Now that we've explored the mind, let's shift to another organ that never rests, the one that beats over 100,000 times a day and becomes more fragile with age. Let's talk about your heart after 80. Your heart has been beating nonstop since the day you were born. By the time you reach 80, it has pumped more than 3 billion times. But with age, even the strongest engine begins to show signs of wear. After 80, the heart muscle stiffens. The arteries carrying blood to every corner of your body lose flexibility. This makes the heart work harder to push blood forward. That's why older adults often feel short of breath, tired after light activity, or dizzy when standing up. Here's a warning you must hear. The risk of heart attack and stroke increases sharply after 80. In fact, strokes are up to 4 times more common at this age compared to your 60s. And unlike muscle or bone loss, heart damage is harder to recover from. Let me give you a picture. An 82-year-old man takes his usual walk around the block. Halfway through, he feels chest tightness, but brushes it off as fatigue. Within minutes, his heart rhythm spirals out of control. This is the hidden danger, ignoring small signals that the heart is under strain. So what can be done? First, know your numbers. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar become more critical after 80. Even a small rise in these numbers can stress the heart. Second, keep moving. Walking, stretching, and light exercise strengthen circulation. The heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it improves when used. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you checked your blood pressure at home? If it's been a while, today might be the time to start again. If you believe heart health is the foundation of longevity, type heart in the comments. Another piece of the puzzle is hydration. Older adults often drink less water, fearing nighttime bathroom trips. But dehydration thickens the blood, forcing the heart to work harder. Even mild dehydration can trigger dizziness and falls. And don't forget stress. At 80, emotional stress can impact the heart as much as physical stress. Loneliness, worry, or grief can trigger dangerous heart rhythms. This is why staying socially connected and emotionally supported is not just comforting, it is life-saving. The message is simple. A strong heart keeps every part of you alive. Protect it, and it will protect you. Now that we've looked at the heart, let's move to another system that guards your entire body. It's your shield against infections, yet it weakens quietly with age. Let's explore your immune system after 80. Your immune system is your body's army. It fights off infections, heals wounds, and keeps dangerous cells in check. But after 80, that army begins to lose its strength. Doctors call this immunosenescence. The cells that once responded quickly to viruses and bacteria become slower, less effective. This is why a simple cold that might have lasted a week at 40 can turn into pneumonia at 85. And here's the warning. Pneumonia and flu remain among the leading causes of hospitalization for people over 80. Think about cuts and bruises. In younger years, they heal quickly, but after 80, even a small scratch can take weeks. That's because the body produces fewer new immune cells and wounds struggle to close. Now imagine two women, both 84. One stays active, eats a colorful diet, rich in fruits and vegetables, and gets her vaccines updated. The other avoids doctor visits, eats poorly, and rarely leaves home. The first may still recover quickly from infections. The second risks being bedridden after a single flu season. Which path are you preparing for yourself? Here's another hidden challenge. Vaccines don't always work as well after 80. The immune system may not respond strongly enough, but partial protection is still better than none. That's why doctors still recommend flu, pneumonia, and shingles vaccines. Let me ask you, when was the last time you updated your shots? Type immune in the comments if you believe vaccines and prevention matter at this age. Nutrition is another key. After 80, the body often absorbs less protein and fewer vitamins like B12, C, and D. Yet these are exactly what immune cells need to fight infections. Without them, fatigue grows, wounds linger, and illnesses return more often. And here's something surprising. Stress weakens immunity just as much as malnutrition. Loneliness, worry, or grief can lower immune response, making you more vulnerable to illness. That's why social connection isn't just about happiness, it's also medicine for the immune system. So what's the takeaway? Your immune system may not be as strong as it once was, but with the right steps, exercise, good food, vaccines, hydration, and connection, you can give your body the defenses it still needs. Now that we've explored your body's defenses, let's turn to another critical system. It's one that quietly changes after 80, often leading to weakness and malnutrition if ignored. Let's talk about your digestion and nutrient absorption. After 80, one of the most overlooked changes happens quietly inside your digestive system. The stomach produces less acid, the intestines move more slowly, and the body struggles to absorb vital nutrients. This isn't just about discomfort, it's about fueling your entire body. Here's the first warning. With reduced stomach acid, vitamin B12 and vitamin D absorption drops sharply. Low B12 can cause fatigue, nerve problems, even memory loss. Low vitamin D weakens bones and immunity, and many seniors mistake these symptoms for just old age. Think about meals. A plate that once left you energized may now feel heavy, causing bloating or indigestion. Some people lose their appetite altogether. Others experience constipation because the intestines slow down with age. These changes may sound small, but over time they lead to malnutrition. And malnutrition in your 80s can rob you of strength, mood, and independence. Now imagine two neighbors, both 85. One eats balanced meals with lean proteins, fiber, and plenty of water. The other skips meals, relying mostly on tea, toast, and processed snacks. The first maintains energy to garden and walk daily. The second becomes weaker, thinner, and less active every month. Which one do you see yourself resembling? Here's another fact to consider. Medications common after 80 often interfere with digestion. Some drugs for blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions can reduce appetite or block nutrient absorption. That's why many doctors recommend regular blood tests to check for deficiencies. So let me ask you, do you still enjoy at least 2 full nourishing meals every day? If not, your body may already be running low on key nutrients. Type digest in the comments if you believe food is medicine, especially after 80. Hydration is also vital. Older adults often drink less water to avoid bathroom trips, but low fluids make digestion harder, slowing down the intestines and worsening constipation. Simply sipping water or herbal tea throughout the day can ease digestion and boost energy. And don't forget movement. Gentle walks after meals stimulate the gut, improve circulation, and help prevent bloating. Even light stretching can aid digestion more than most people realize. The message is clear. Your digestive system may change after 80, but with the right habits, it can still support a healthy, active life. Now let's turn to the final and perhaps most dangerous change. It's the loss of balance and reflexes, the very abilities that protect you from life-threatening falls. After 80, one of the greatest threats to independence is not disease, but falling. And the reason is simple. Balance and reflexes decline with age. The inner ear, which controls equilibrium, becomes less sensitive. Nerves that carry signals from your feet to your brain slow down, and muscles already weaker no longer react fast enough to catch you when you slip. This combination creates a silent danger. Here's the hard truth. Falls are the #1 cause of serious injuries for seniors over 80. A single fall can break a hip, injure the spine, or cause head trauma. And unlike younger years, recovery is long and often incomplete. Some never walk the same way again. Picture this. An 83-year-old woman rises quickly from bed at night. Her blood pressure drops, her balance falters, and she falls before she can grab the nightstand. This is how quickly it can happen without warning, without a second chance. But here's the good news. Balance can be trained. Tai Chi yoga, or even simple exercises like standing on one leg for 10 seconds, strengthen both muscles and reflexes. Walking on uneven ground with caution also keeps your body alert. Let me pause to ask, can you stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds without holding on? That small test is a powerful predictor of fall risk. Type balance in the comments if you believe practicing stability is just as important as lifting weights. Home safety matters too. Loose rugs, poor lighting, and cluttered hallways are hidden traps. Installing grab bars, night lights, and non-slip mats can save a life. It's not weakness to prepare, it's wisdom. And don't overlook vision and hearing. Eyes that no longer see clearly and ears that miss subtle sounds also disrupt balance. That's why regular checkups with your eye doctor and audiologist are part of fall prevention. Finally, footwear. Slippers without grip or shoes without support are silent risks. Well-fitted non-slip shoes act like shock absorbers, giving your brain more time to react. So remember this, falls are not an inevitable part of aging. With training, environment changes, and awareness, you can stay steady, confident, and safe. And now we reach the end of this journey. We've seen 7 powerful changes that shape life after 80. Let's bring them together in a hopeful conclusion. We've just walked through 7 of the biggest changes your body faces after 80. Muscles grow weaker, bones lose density, memory and focus slow down, the heart works harder, immunity softens, digestion struggles, and balance becomes fragile. At first, these changes may sound overwhelming, but here's the truth you must carry with you. None of them mean the end of strength, joy, or independence. They are signals. Signals reminding you to take action, protect your health, and live with intention. Think back for a moment. Which of the 7 changes spoke to you the most? Was it muscle loss, bone weakness, or perhaps memory? This is your body telling you where to focus today. And remember this, even after 80, improvement is possible. Muscles still respond to exercise. Bones still grow stronger with movement and nutrition. The brain still lights up when challenged with learning. The heart still beats stronger with care. Balance still sharpens with practice. It is never too late to nurture the gift of life. Let me ask you now, What do you want your 80s and beyond to look like? Write it in the comments and inspire someone else watching, because your story can give hope to another person's journey. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe. Together, we're building a community where aging means strength, wisdom, and joy, not decline. And if you stay connected, you'll never walk this path alone. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and step forward with courage. 80 is not the end. It is the beginning of a new meaningful chapter.